Suze, and welcome to EduBuffs,
where you'll find tips for teachers and help for your students.
We would really love it if you clicked on that little red subscribe button, as well as the little bell notification next to it so you know when new videos pop up.
And we are on all the socials.
All the socials, and the links for all of those are down below in the description box, or you can look up at EduBuffs or at EduBuffins.
Suze,
yes.
What on earth are we doing this week?
Good question. What are we doing?
I'm not sure. I'm thinking. It's been a brilliant week. I have had so many pracs on this week. Oh, that's right! Student experiments! This time we're going to be looking at student experiments for seniors. So that's years 10, 11 and 12, following QCAA guidelines.
And for this, I'm out because I teach junior. And it's all about shells. Let's do this!
We're going to be having a look at the student experiment for seniors in this video, and we'll actually have a playlist of videos taking you through the student experiment step by step. But first of all, we need to have a look at the task. Remember that this is a task that is set by the QCAA, and your teachers are not really at liberty to change any of the conditions. So first of all, remember that you will receive 10 hours of class time. That 10 hours of class time might be one lesson after another, or you might have that 10 hours allocated across an entire term. That's going to be up to your teachers. You're going to finish off by doing a 15 to 2,000 word scientific report. Again, you will need to follow your teacher's instructions as to exactly what needs to be in the scientific report. But you should make sure that you do not go beyond 2,000 words. Lastly, this is an assignment that will be done partly as a group and partly individual. So there is some group work, but the reporting is going to be done individually. Your task is to modify a Classprac to address your own research question. So you're modifying, you're not designing from scratch. Modify a Classprac to address your research question. So modifying a Classprac. You have a choice of 3 different ways that you can modify a Classprac. Firstly, you can refine it. Refine means to make minor changes to improve a method. So these are small tweaks. For instance, you might decide that measuring with a beaker is not accurate enough, so you could choose to measure with the measuring cylinder. That's a refinement. The second type of change you can make is an extension. You can extend the prac that you did in class. Extending means to cause to cover a wider range of values. For example, if your independent variable was temperature, and in the original Classprac, the temperature was changed from 15 to 20 to 25 degrees centigrade, you might want to change it from 10 to 15 to 20 to 25 to 30 degrees centigrade. So if you've extended the prac. The third option that you have is to redirect. Redirect means to direct to a new purpose. This usually means that you're actually going to be changing either the independent variable or the dependent variable. For example, if your Classprac involved looking at the effect of surface area on the rate of an enzyme controlled reaction, you might want to look at, instead of surface area, the effect of temperature on the rate of an enzyme controlled reaction. So you have changed the purpose of the investigation. I usually advise my students to redirect, and to redirect simply, so that they can include more scientific information in their rationale. It's just an easier way of making sure that you meet the standards of the marking guide in the rationale. And I strongly advise my students not to make more than 2, at most 3 changes, because they might want to redirect and extend slightly, or redirect and refine slightly. So now I'm going to run you through a basic overview of what is necessary to complete this task. Remember that I'm not giving you the details in this video. This is just a basic run through. We will follow this video up with a few more videos that will help you to do each section and to match it to the marking guide. I'm hoping that this will enable you to get the very best marks that you can get, but more importantly than that, it will help you to learn to do science and to think and express yourself critically. So, your first task is to choose a prac. Choose. You will probably be given a list of pracs that you have completed during the term or during the year. They will have come from the unit that you'll be studying, and you should make sure that you keep all those pracs and all the information about them in your prac books so that you've got them ready to refer back to. And of course, when you do them in class, make sure that you understand exactly what's going on in terms of the science and in terms of the data. So choosing your prac is the first step, and you are going to do that with your mates. So that would be group work. Once you've chosen a prac, remembering that you can do extensions, refinements, or redirections, you are going to develop a research question. Now clearly, the whole group has to investigate the same thing. So the research question that you come up with, the idea of the research question, that's a group effort. But writing it yourself, you need to take responsibility to make sure that you write it correctly. So your second thing is to develop a research question. And you're going to do that as a group. The third thing you're going to do is a whole bunch of research. You're going to do this on the internet, you're going to do this using books, you can talk to people, but you need to be able to explain exactly why you have chosen that research question. So number 3 is research. Make sure that you understand every aspect of the topic, every aspect of your Classprac, and exactly why you've chosen that research question, so that you can complete your rationale. That research is going to be done individually. So that's just you. It's up to you to make sure that you've got all that information. Now you're ready for step number 4, which is to modify the method. And you've got to be able to give a scientific reason as to why you've made that modification. So with every single modification, there must be a justification. And of course, with every single prac that you do, there has to be a risk assessment. And I have got a really squeaky marker. Once you've completed all that, you are ready to start your investigation. We don't call it doing our prac, we call it collecting data. So you are going to collect data, you are going to process data, you are going to present your data, you're going to analyze your data, you're also going to evaluate your data and the method. You're going to interpret your data. To draw a conclusion. And this is all data. It's all about the data. Don't forget that. It's all about the data. As a friend of mine is fond of saying, data, 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 people. Once you've drawn a conclusion, you're going to finish off with your reference list. Ta-da! Ready to hand it in.
If you found that video helpful, we would love to know about it. And if you have any questions about student experiment, I'm sure that Shirls will be happy to answer that for you. Just leave your questions and comments down below.
I'd love to see some comments and I would love to answer some questions. We would also love it if you could share with your friends.
Absolutely.
Because we're all about sharing the love.
We are all about sharing the love. And if you want to see the rest of this video series, make sure that you click on that subscription button below and you'll be notified when the rest of the series is out.
Correct. That's it.
We'll see you on the flip side.
Bye.
Bye. Ouch. Yeah.